How to find your inner center when it comes to socializing with other people. We have to start by baby steps. So we can't just from this is a continuation of I've done 2 videos now, one on people pleasing, one on setting boundaries, and this is um like grounding or centering yourself when with other people. And I would say it's probably good to watch those in like the order that I post them. But so this is like the finalized way on how to go about this. And the groundingness we can only do with other people when we practiced a lot. And okay, so to like cut to the chase, what this would mean is being present. And being present means we're not thinking, we're not losing our focus when we talk with someone and thinking what they want us to say or what they would like approve of. This is not what we're doing, because when we do that, we lose our focus like directly. We're not listening to what they're saying. We're like registering very quickly and then thinking of what we should respond. And then we are not present where they're talking, and they can sense our energy being not there. They're like, they can see in our soul, in our eyes, that we're not present, we're not thinking about what they're saying, we're not seeing them. And this is like the crime of this is the crime of not being able to connect with other people. We can't we can't meet them, we can't see them, because we're so concerned, we're so in our fear state that we're not enough, we're not worthy, and we're trying to gain their approval, that we're not honoring being present with them in this moment. So when we're thinking of what we should answer next and they're not even done, like maybe our eyes drift a bit because it's too distracting if we're looking at them and trying to think of what we should answer. So maybe our eyes drift, or maybe they see like an empty blank stare because we're thinking about something else. We're literally not present. Like our soul, our mind is somewhere else. And this can be detected, I say it again, because we really need to realize this is sensed. Like this sense, maybe they don't trust us because we're not being there with them. They're thinking like, maybe, probably for most people, there's like this inner child wounding of not being seen and not being heard. So when people sense that you're not in your adult self, like listening to what they are saying or what they want to share, they're probably going to feel a bit hurt on an unconscious level, and maybe that will create a disconnect or a non-trust, and that will create a barrier between you two. So with this understanding of the harm of not being present with other people, this is when we are supposed to, or if we want to combat this, if we want to not do this anymore because we want to be a loving presence for other people and hold space for them, we need to realize that it's okay to slow down the tempo. We don't need to talk to people in this ping pong dialogue that they say something and we should in a second respond. So it's not like this uncomfortable silence. This is a habit that is very amped up because of the high speed of society, and it's okay to slow down. It's okay to register what they're saying and answering from this state of presence. And if they are uncomfortable with this, then it's okay. Maybe they are themselves experiencing the same thing that you are trying to avoid, and maybe like that's not possible with that that particular person, but you can still try to slow down the tempo by rebelling against the tempo and answering slower. And if that doesn't give you you can't get a word in, that's okay. Maybe that's all right with that person, but you can still do this with other people, and eventually they will slow down. So realizing tempo is not necessary. Like you don't need to talk so quick. Now I'm talking quick because I'm very excited about this. But when you're dialoguing with other people, it's okay to slow down the tempo. Because you can't be present if the tempo is so quick. And being present means that you're not in the future trying to think of what you are supposed to respond. You're focusing on this physical experiential moment. And that means, because we need to practice this, we need to practice the grounding techniques, and I think root chakra healing is very good for that, to create that safety enough to be present. But focusing on mindfulness, basically, that is what it is. And like noticing your 5 senses and taking that in, like slowing down, noticing the 5 presence, slowing down and noticing the 5 senses. Maybe like breathing in, maybe noticing what you hear, smell. Like this is like how to practice in your alone time. When you're with other people, it's most likely that you will be able to do this once you have like practiced a lot on your, like in your alone time, because ping pong dialogue, quick tempo, thinking of the future of what you're about to say and going to directly like, okay, now mindful interaction, it's not very likely that it will happen that way. So we need to build up from the ground this centeredness. And this centeredness comes from practicing being mindful and present in the moment. And this you can do by doing meditations, but some people have resistance towards meditation. So if this is you, then just practicing for a short bit every day, like slowing down when you do something. Like imagine yourself doing things in like a slow-mo filter, like really slowly. Take something like, force yourself to slow down so that your body can get into the action of being with you when you do stuff. Because if you're always in your mind thinking about the future or the past, like everything, like the awareness is just here, like it's not on the physical world. So slowing down, noticing your senses. And I like to think about like the centering thing, like your attention, your center, like from your chest. I like to think it of from my like heart chakra space. But you can imagine like a ball, like if a rotational ball in your center is your midpoint, and you act from that point, that can be like whichever concept resonates for you, but just taking back your attention from everywhere else, like the future, the past, to other people, trying to predict what they're going to say, and getting that attention back into yourself, and having that as a center point when interacting with other people. Eventually it will give you so much. So maybe that is basically what I'm trying to say. Like presence and mindfulness is the ideal states to practice and the tools for how to meet other people in consciousness. Okay, this was a bit shorter than I thought it would be, but maybe it's because I've talked for 3 videos about the same topic and just divided them into 3 separate videos. So maybe that's like now like tying the ribbon on this package. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was interesting for you, and I wish you the best, most like intimate conversations with people, and I hope you have a good day and much love.